Hi Raheem. I just wanted to talk to you about how you find fasting as a student.
Sure, Shamsa. I've lived out at uni for 3 years, so I was obviously away from my family, away from my usual friends back in my hometown. At first, obviously, it was a little bit difficult because basics, like I'm not having food ready for me. I have to now organise my own sehri, my own iftar. So I'm now feeding myself, which I've never really done before in my life. So first time it was a bit of a shock to be waking up in dead middle of the night. Sometimes I just stay up because I didn't know if I was going to wake up. And having cereal instead of toast, eggs, all the usual at home. In a way, it was more spiritually enlightening in the fact that I had myself. Like I wasn't sort of praying together with my family, and especially when I joined, it was COVID time, so we was all praying separately. So I felt like I had a more stronger connection to the month of Ramadan because I had an empty mind, no distractions, and it was just me and God. Do you know what I mean? So I felt like I had for the first time in a long time, I had a really, spiritually strong Ramadan, and I felt coming out of it, I had made progress in my faith. I felt stronger in my faith, and I felt like I could build on that, and I have in the following years.
What is one thing maybe you really find important in Ramadan?
What I find important is just timings. Like it's easy for the day to slip away from you. You wake up, food, water. I need to get as much down. Then next thing, uni, 9 a.m. I've got a break. What do I do in my break? I can't eat. You know what I mean? So it's a bit awkward because your friends are like, oh, can we eat? Can we drink water? I was like, yes, fine. Like, don't feel sorry for me. You know what I mean? Like, this is my choice. And if I didn't want to fast, I wouldn't. Yeah. And if I couldn't fast, I wouldn't. Yeah. If I wasn't able to medically, I wouldn't do it because we're not encouraged to do it. So I think that once just finding that initial routine was a little bit difficult. I mean, I found that even during the day when there wasn't a prayer time, I'd just come sit in the prayer room during my breaks, and maybe instead of eating food, I'd read the Quran or I'd listen to a podcast about Islam. I think I had more time for my religion because I wasn't doing mundane tasks like eating and drinking all day long, which I'm renowned for doing, eating all day long. So yeah, what would you think your experience was as a staff member?
Well, you mentioned the prayer room, and actually we're based in the same building as the prayer room, and it was actually really nice kind of seeing you as well on campus and coming down and seeing that you're sort of sitting there and praying the Quran. And you're right, when you actually think about it, the amount of times we spend eating and drinking and gossiping and all these things that we try and abstain from in Ramadan, you really appreciate the facilities that are provided at our workplace, which I think is really nice. And you as a student, me as a staff member, we love the prayer room, we love the ablution facilities. They've been so handy. We have like a little bookshelf with all the Quran stuff on there. And women, personally, we had like the big skirts and scarves that we had, so we had the facilities to be able to pray, and I think that's been really, really nice, a really positive experience. But also in terms of, same with me, I didn't want my friends to feel bad for eating during lunch, because it's like, well, we're doing this by choice, and it's actually better for us to feel more challenged because we're trying to abstain from something that everyone's doing, but we have this community strength or something that's just somehow comes with the month. Yeah, and I think that's really nice.
Just following from what you said about the friends, where we come from, my community, obviously there's quite a large Muslim population, so a lot of the people were sort of aware of what fasting is, and all my friends and stuff, they knew exactly what we were doing, so it wasn't really that awkward. But coming to university, I found that a lot of students hadn't come across Muslims before, and they wasn't quite sure about what Ramadan was, so it was kind of like a fresh start, trying to introduce them to it and trying to explain to what the month is and what I'm doing, and then them trying to get used to it was a bit of a process. But how did you find it with the staff?
Yeah, and I think part of this project that we're doing is to make people feel more well informed about what Ramadan is. But I think a lot of people did kind of know, but I would always find myself sort of repeating the basics of what it is, which I didn't mind doing, of course. I quite like talking about it. But I think it's quite nice that we try and make more awareness around it, as if it's something that's coming up. So it's nice for people to know that it's coming up, and maybe during this month Muslims might feel a bit more tired, or maybe you don't need to talk to them about it, because some people might want to talk about it, others might not want to talk about it because they have multiple reasons, like you mentioned sickness earlier. of why they might not want to do it or can't do it, or you know, they're not at a certain level in their spirituality or their religion, which they might not want to talk about. But I think the only thing that we can do really is to just bring more awareness on what it is, and you know, just get supportive colleagues and managers, which I feel like I've had so far, and you know, it's been a really good experience.
So what I would also aim to do is, whenever me and my friends we were all staying at uni to have iftar together, to break the fast together, I would only make an effort to not only invite my Muslim friends, but my non-Muslim friends as well, so they can see the community feel, especially down at the local mosque in Cowley. Every night in Ramadan they do, they hand out food. So there's not just Muslims there, you'll see many homeless people, less fortunate people, all coming to have hot food in the mosque. And it's open to everyone. It's not restricted to, prove to me you're fasting, otherwise you can't get a meal. No, it's anyone that needs a meal can come and have food. And it's all provided 30 days throughout the whole of Ramadan, and even on Eid as well. So what I do is I try and bring people who might not be quite aware of what it is, and just say, come along, have a look, we'll break our fast, you have a food with us as well. And they sort of understand the process, they meet some more people in the community, and it's just exposure, and they understand what you're going through more, and they understand that it's not something you're being forced to do, and it's like something we love doing. I mean, I look forward to the month of Ramadan. I count the days towards it, and I hope that one day I can do the month of Ramadan in the holy city of Makkah, which would be amazing. That's my dream. So I think just having I'm not only friends with Muslims, I have lots of non-Muslim friends, so trying to just bring them into the circle, just so they have an understanding. They don't need to fast with me, they don't need to feel bad for me, they can eat in front of me, they can drink in front of me, I don't care. But as long as they understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, that's my goal. That's
exactly. And that's what we want everyone to feel a part of Ramadan, no matter what way it is, and that's really nice that stuff like that is going on in and around Oxford. And I think that's really nice. But thank you so much for talking to me today about Ramadan. It's been so nice to talk to you and have a chat with you. Thank you.